Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this Thursday morning? Well, I'm doing better than I was last night or yesterday. Driving home yesterday, I had made this video talking. It was going to be for my YouTube channel because I've been focusing a little bit more on. Should turn on a little bit of defrost this morning. It's not frosty this morning. It's actually kind of warm, but it's just got a kind of a chill in here. I was in a pretty good mood driving home yesterday, and I made a video as I was driving for my YouTube, like I said. I don't even remember what I talked about now, honestly. Got home, flipped on Facebook. Y'all have to excuse my voice this morning. And there she was. And I have never, in all the time that I've watched this woman, I've been watching her for probably less than a year now. But, well, whenever the protest, whenever that happened, I had not yet started really watching her. I'd seen a few things come through my news feed about her, through like friends commenting and things like that. But I had not really started watching her. However, I have never in my life been so mad and irate and upset as I was yesterday. And I don't know why, because she's absolutely the same person every day of her life. Some days she comes on, she's all sticky sweet, hi guys. And yesterday she was getting dope sick. So she was being a straight up bitch. And just, I've never, and I hate to even say this, I do, but I've never hated another human being the way that I hate her yesterday. Now, I ask God to forgive me for saying that, but it's true. I just could not. I was so angry. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I so angry? It's nothing new. She's not exhibiting any behavior different than she normally does. I think it was all the stinking lies that she was telling about. You know, it makes me so mad when people straight up lie about stuff like these food banks and things. It makes me so mad when someone like her refuses. Well, she doesn't want the food. We all know that. We, the people that know what she is, we all know that she wanted cash. And then she says, if you don't trust me, to give it straight to me instead of buying it. If you're hungry, and she's lying. She knows she's lying. I guarantee you that if they're giving food away, her and her mother are probably the two first ones in line to get it. Mama Con, now, I don't know what goes on in her mind. Exposure Room was playing back a little bit of the video from, was it last year, when she was at her mom's and they were getting ready to cook Thanksgiving, and she's just going off about Ed, and Ed's calling, accusing her of, well, it wasn't, if I remember it correctly, she called Ed at like daylight, you know, wanting him to bring her some cigarettes, and what are you doing up so early, you know? And she said he was accusing her of having been out all night. And, well, if she'd been out all night, why didn't the man she was out with pick her up a pack of cigarettes? You know? But you could hear Mama Con in the background saying, just let it go. You know the truth. Why you gotta argue about it? You know? And for the first time in my life, I agree with Con. I'm like, yeah. But a narcissist can't. There's this whole, and I know I'm all the time telling you people, go watch YouTube, go look it up on YouTube. But seriously, there's this whole series on YouTube about the narcissist ruining the holidays. Now, I've told my story, and on my YouTube channel I tell a little bit more about it with some member of the family, and they either want to be the center of attention, so they're like they're just talking over everybody and just, I gotta sneeze. Hang on. Excuse me. I need to dust inside my car, I think. Actually, I think I might be coming down with a little bit of a cold. I hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not. But I don't know. It could just be allergies, or it could be dust, or I don't know what. But they will ruin the holidays. They will either at the last minute start a fight with somebody and say, I'm not coming. Y'all, and the call, and they do the smear campaign. They call each member of the family telling them what other ones is saying about them and talking bad and trying to get a big argument going with everybody inside the family. Or they, like my ex did, at the last minute changed the plans, so you've got your plans made, and then at the last minute, well, I can't be with you because I got to go do this or that. So they kind of just like leave you out in the cold. They'll try every trick in the book to, and she knew when she was on there crying and behaving the way that she was, that her loyal minions, instead of cooking their Thanksgiving dinner for their families, they were sitting there, oh, that poor child, that poor baby, her man is being so mean to her. I don't know why she don't leave him alone and just find her a good man. Because they believe every lie she tells. But I don't know, man. Yesterday, and I think that overall, most of you will agree, because all the comments and stuff that I was seeing last night were like this hateful effing, you know what, and everybody was just so ticked off at her yesterday. And maybe it's because we're all, and I don't want to use the word all of us, but many of us, and many, we know people in our neighborhoods and just in general in life who are struggling for real, who are worried about how am I going to put food on the table for my family, how am I going to, I don't think I'm going to get to walk this morning. The wind is really awful. Go down here and see what happens. Yeah, it's bad. Real bad, like Leroy Brown bad. But we're either all going through some struggle, or we know people who are going through some struggle. And the holidays, it's hard enough when you are strapped financially, because people will rob Peter to pay Paul, They will take what they don't have at the holidays and they will twist it and turn it around until they do have it, so that they can buy stuff for people, buy their children, their grandchildren, their mom and dad, or their spouse something that they really can't afford to spend that money on. And man, this wind is bad. I should have stayed home today. I think I'm just going to run down here to the store while I'm out, get me a cup of coffee since I've come this far. Maybe stop getting me a case of water I didn't get yesterday. But yeah, we know people who struggle more at the holidays, and not just financially, but mentally and emotionally, and depression heightens during the holidays, because we forget, what Christmas and what Thanksgiving is about. I mean, think right now, anyone who hears this, are you dreading the cooking, Are you dreading it? Are you, is it something like, oh, I got to get the turkey and I got to do this and or do you look at it like, oh, I can't wait to spend the day with my sister or my mom, my daughter, cooking, my husband, whoever helps to do the cooking. I can't wait. We're going to have such a great day making pies, and it's just going to be so sweet and nice. Or do you look at it like, this is something that I can't wait for it to be over. And then it's on to Black Friday, and we got to get in the store at daylight. The mom's got to get it. We got to get it. We got to have it. And they put too much pressure on themselves. And this Christmas for me is going to be a Christmas where I am not. And I probably did when my son was young. I tried every trick in the book to rob Peter to pay Paul, to make sure that my son had what he wanted. But I don't do that anymore. If I don't have it, I don't spend it. But there's so many people out there that will. They will take out loans. They will, hawk something at the pawn shop, whatever they have to do. And it puts so much extra pressure on everybody. And with the economy the way that it is and the way that it's headed, getting even worse as we speak, it's a double depression. It's a double fear. It's a double worry on people. But people will still do it. People will still do it. And I don't know. But the way she was behaving yesterday was like the most ungrateful brat. Like this child who anybody who has ever been hungry, anybody who has ever said, okay, I'm gonna go grocery shopping, but I'm only gonna get, and you end up buying the cheapest foods, you end up buying the most probably less nutritious foods, because those are usually the cheaper ones, just to get by for that week until you get paid, or maybe until you get your food stamps or whatever it might be. You just make do. But if someone's saying to you, I will go to Walmart and I will purchase you a full meal, and I will have it delivered to your home, or I will have it arranged for you to be able to come and pick it up, and you say, no, you don't trust me. If you trusted me, you would give me the money and I could go buy it myself. No, if you're hungry and you don't know how you're going to buy food, and someone is saying to you, here, let me buy it for you, you say, oh, thank you so much. How can I repay you? What can I do to show my gratitude for you doing this for me in my time of need? The people sitting in their homes when these churches dispense these food boxes, and they either go and pick them up, or someone brings it to them if they can't get out to get it. And like the senior citizens delivers meals, to people, to the elderly people and disabled people and people that can't get out and go pick it up for themselves. They bring them food to their home. They appreciate that, because that's one less dollar that they have to spend on a meal. But and I know that CMC did not want food. When you are hungry, you say, I think I can do without watching Yellowstone this week. I think I can do without watching, whatever show you watch. I can go without it, because I'm not going to let my child go hungry just so I can watch TV or have the internet. But see, CMC wants you all to prioritize, and she comes first. Before you pay your mortgage, before you pay your grocery bill, before you pay your electric bill, before you feed your child, you feed her. And you're not feeding her food, you're feeding her addiction. You're feeding her habit. I apologize for my snuffling. I sound like Mr. Snuffleupagus on Sesame Street, because I'm there. I had a little girl that I used to babysit for all the time. She was a friend of my son's daughter, And she was about 6 or 7 years old, and I had taken her to town with me one day. And of course, I spoiled her rotten. I bought her everything she wanted. And she had a head cold, and she wanted some kind of apple. She said, I want an apple. So I bought her an apple. And that's odd for a kid to ask for an apple. Most of them would be like, give me candy, give me candy. But I bought her an apple, and she's like, this apple's awful, it's awful. And I said, it's because you have no taste, because your head's all stopped up. But I was calling her Snuffleupagus, and she didn't know who that was. I said, you got to watch Sesame Street. But anyway, that's just a little side story. See, we all have these little side stories, these happy little memories. CMC doesn't have happy little memories like that. Um, she has memories of being bitten by a copperhead. That copperhead, he probably slithered off into the woods and goes, oh, God, I've just bitten the most poisonous person. Oh, my God. But honestly, people who are very uber religious would see that as a sign. They would see that as an omen. They would say, she was bitten as a 5-year-old child, bitten by a copperhead and survived. Because she probably had more poison inside of her and more venom. And you think about her behavior today, there are people out there like these people in like the old religions and the old, like, remember the movie The Exorcist? Those old, like, Catholic, and I'm not discriminating against anybody Catholic. I'm just saying, like, these omens and signs, that they would say this happened to you because you did something. But she's more poisonous than a copperhead. Her tongue is more forked than a snake's. And she really is a poison. She's a poison to my brain because of the way I was feeling yesterday. And I was sitting there thinking about that when I woke up this morning. I said, I went through a divorce. I went through a breakup with a narcissist that left me like just in dire straits for a long time and really was like rock bottom. But I never felt hatred toward either of these people or any people in my life who've wronged me, any people in my life who have harmed me, that I feel toward her, a stranger who I've never even met. She is, this woman needs to be introduced to Carl Baskin, and they need to go visit the tiger feeding time, you know what I mean? She needs to be introduced to the sausage grinder. That's how she brings out the worst in us. I saw so many people yesterday saying that. She brings out the worst in me. She makes me feel this way and that way. So, I mean, what can we do? There's nothing we can do. And I'm sorry, but I have to agree with Exposure Room when she was talking last night about these people who everybody seems hell-bent on helping get their money back. But I'm in the same boat with Curry. They gave their money to her. Why should they come running over here to the groups now, asking for our help after they called us haters and lied and said we were all coming into their inbox and starting trouble? You know, why should we accept them and welcome them in now? Because the goal is to bring awareness. Well, they're aware now. Once their money's gone and they're left sitting there with empty pockets, looking around for CMC, and she's got them blocked, or she's lying to everybody and saying that wasn't really me, that was a fake profile, and then they come running over to the groups. Can you all help me? She stole my money and won't pay me back. Now she's got me blocked. Can you all help me? We tried to help you. We tried to warn you. But, I understand. I understand because people tried to warn me about the narcissist and I wouldn't listen. I had to get bitten by that snake before I, figured out what happened to me. And I had to pick the pieces of myself back up by myself, and I had to go through it alone. I mean, I had a few friends who were like, patting me on the back, it'll be okay, kind of thing. But for the most part, just like many of these people probably do, I felt so much shame and guilt that I allowed myself to get taken for a ride that I wouldn't talk about it to people. I kept it to myself quite a bit. I kept a lot of it to myself. And even after I started making my YouTube channel and talking about it, there was still a whole lot that I held back and didn't talk about. And there's things I may never talk about. That it's just like this lady Dr. Phil had on. She believed in her. She gave around 50. Now she's not even the worst. She gave like overall over the course of a couple of years, she gave around $50,000 to this scammer, who she thought was this good-looking man who was coming to be with her and coming to start a life with her. And it was just some African scammer. And her son watched as she dwindled away his inheritance, what little bit, $50,000 is quite a bit of money, but this woman, she got to where she was sending this guy $10, $50, because that's all she could come up with, because she'd already depleted all of her money. And her son turned his back on her because he and his wife couldn't convince her that this was all fake. And Dr. Phil couldn't even convince her. She was still on Dr. Phil saying, I know it's a scam, or I understand now, Dr. Phil, I get it, but I still want to talk to them. And Dr. Phil says to her, call them up and tell them, I still want to be your friend, but I'm never giving you another penny of money. He said, call them up and tell them I no longer have access to my money. I've turned my power of attorney over to my son, and my son now controls my money. And see how long they continue to be your friend. Excuse me, guys, I'm blowing my nose. But think about that. What if Val or Linda or one of her regular minions, one of her ATM cash cows, suddenly said, I'm sorry, Crystal, but my son, my daughter, I've given them power of attorney, and they now control my bank accounts. Any money that goes out of my account has to be approved by them. So if you need money, now this is what Dr. Phil says to this lady, to tell this scammer, I can no longer authorize giving you any money. You will have to go through my conservatorship, my power of attorney person. They're not going to do that. CMC would not call up Val's daughter or son and say, I need $50 to fix my tire on my car. They're going to say, and how is that my problem? How is that my problem? A little bit, because I did edit out a couple of the more choice words that I said. But basically, I was just saying, people know you. You don't have people food. You think that people can't find Jackson, Walmart, and find out that, yes, you can pick up groceries there. They may not have the delis where you can go in and get like the fresh fried chicken and the fresh made cakes and things like that. But they have like coolers, and they sell milk, and they sell the basics, like a small grocery store. That's what her Jackson Walmart is like. It's not a super Walmart. But anyway, who cares? People were offering to buy her food. They were offered. I saw someone say that they would arrange for her to have an Uber to Hazard. They would buy all the food at Hazard Walmart, and she could just go over there and pick it up. Or they would have it arranged for her to have it brought to her at her home. And she wouldn't acknowledge those comments when people were saying, "What do you need? I will arrange it for you. I will have it sent Uber. I will have it. I will buy it all on my Walmart app and arrange for you to pick it up at your Hazard Supercenter Walmart." But no, you don't trust me. If you trusted me, you would just send me the money. It's not going to be home on Thanksgiving. Now she's saying, "Well, I won't even get paid because that's on a Saturday. So I won't even get paid till that Monday." Well, let Bubby buy the Thanksgiving turkey. I would say more than likely he gets a voucher from his employer to get a Thanksgiving turkey. Most of these big companies do. Just about anybody you talk to who works for any kind of big organization they either get a voucher or they get a little extra in their paycheck for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And he does too. And Mama Con has probably already bought the turkey. It's probably already in her freezer. She probably bought it when she got her food stamps. And she probably went straight to the store and bought it because turkeys and things, if you haven't gotten one yet, you might not get one. I don't know. I've not been in the big grocery stores in a while, but the day that I went to pick my turkey up, and someone had said you can get a free turkey through the Ibotta app if you sign up. Nothing's free on Ibotta. She's lying because I got 2 free turkeys, sister. I'm using my referral code. So, you pay for the turkey. The turkey I bought was probably like $12 because I got like a smaller size. And I will get $15 back from Ibotta for that turkey. So she's full of it when she tries to tell these people. She doesn't want anyone coming into the comments who has any kind of brain function. And someone said, and I didn't even watch all of it, but someone said she went back and like cut out that whole part where people were offering money and people, or like offering vouchers and things like that. But she didn't want her minions to see that people was offering her food. Someone even invited her to come and eat with them. Someone said, "I'm cooking Thanksgiving. Do you want me to fix you and Ed a plate and bring it to you? Or you can come to my home and eat." People listen. And anybody hearing me speak right now is probably not going to be someone that supports her because they probably don't come and listen to me speak. But if someone should hear it, she is not hungry. She does not want that money for food. Stop feeling sorry for her. Stop believing her lies. She is an addict, and she will try every trick under the sun to get her stuff. It's pure and simple. I don't care if you are 45 or 85. I don't care if you're 95. You are not. My water bottle fell over. And I have one fall over this morning that the lid wasn't getting tight on. And you may say, "Well, why don't you put them in your cup holder?" Well, I got a coffee cup in my cup holder from yesterday that I forgot to take in the house. My mom is 78 years old, and she would not fall for this stuff. She would recognize the signs of an addict. These people are not living under a rock. They haven't been sheltered their whole lives. They've been out in the world. Drug use, and especially like pain pill abuse and Xanax abuse and Oxycontin and all the stuff that we hear about now has been going on for the last 20 plus years, 30 years, 40 years. People were addicted to Valium in the 60s. The Rolling Stones has got a song out there called Mother's Little Helper, and it's about Valium abuse. It's about a woman addicted to Valium, and it was written in the 1960s. So these people in their 70s and 80s are not unaware of drug abuse, you know? So stop giving them a pass and saying, them sweet little women, they just don't know no better. They know better. They are being jerked around by a narcissist. They are under the love bomb mind control of a narcissist. It doesn't have anything to do with them being sheltered, sweet little innocent women. It is because their heartstrings are being tugged on by a narcissist. And nothing any of us can say or do will change their opinion and their view of her until they see it for themselves. And I've said this too. I repeat myself once again. It took me 3 years from the time I met that man till it went, okay. There's something there. There's something wrong with this dude, you know? And then I went, what is it that is wrong with him? Let me look this up. Let me Google. And then it was really like, okay. But until they see it for themselves and they come to decide that they know there's something wrong there, nobody's going to be able to tell them any different. But to wrap this video up, and I didn't mean for this to go so long, I really didn't. Once I get straight talking about it, you know. But, I mean, man, for myself and all of you who felt the same way yesterday, so angry, so, like, just irate, and, like, just wanting to lash out and just wanting to throw down, you know, we've got to take a step back from this. We really do. I saw someone comment the other day that they're going to take a break from watching her until after the holidays, because they don't want to go through the holidays and go through and like I was saying earlier, all the stuff that we deal with on our own during the holidays, the depression and the anxiety of it all, and the over stress of it all, and then factor her in and her antics. And it's just going to add to your anger and your blue and your stress. And the holidays shouldn't be about any of that. The holidays should be about being with your family, relaxing, and enjoying the season. It should be about being thankful for what you do have. And I made a video yesterday where I was talking about how thankful I am to not have. She says all the time, us haters hate her because of what she has that we don't have. Well, I made a video about what all she has that I'm grateful not to have, like drug addiction and a relationship with someone who could care less if I was there, and a dirty house, and a dirty body, and hatred from my neighbors and other people. That's the things that CMC has that we should all be grateful we don't have. And we should be grateful for the people we have. We should be grateful for whatever food we have. We should be grateful for the roof over our heads and the heat and electricity to cook that food and to sit down at our table with our loved ones. That's what Thanksgiving is about. So let's take her out of it. Take out the way she makes you feel, because as long as you continue to watch her, you're going to continue to feel that way. And she's not going to change. So set your mind to this. I'm either going to not watch her during the holidays so that she doesn't bring these feelings out in me, or I'm going to continue to watch her, but I'm going to accept the fact that she's not going to change. And the people giving her money, it's not my place to educate them. It's not my place to bring them over to this side. They have to learn it on their own. I compare her to Adolf Hitler due to the fact that she leads all these people to believe her lies. Adolf Hitler told his people about all these other people over here that they should fear. He told them all these people over here are bad. These Jewish people, they're haters. And that's the same thing CMC's telling all of her people. All those people up there are haters. You should hate them. They're out to get you. They're evil. They're awful people. And all her minions are like, oh yes, we need to listen to her. Those people over there are so horrible. It's awful. It's awful. It really is that someone like her is allowed to exist on God's earth. But evil walks amongst us. It really does. Evil, narcissistic, mean-spirited, destructive, demonic, venomous people walk amongst us. And she's one of them. She's one of the worst. So if you continue watching her, you need to accept that fact and decide she's the villain. She's never going to change. She's the villain in this show. Or just stop watching her. That's the only two choices you have, because she is never going to stop. And on that note, I'm going to go, and everybody have a great day.